Aloha kakayaka. Good Tuesday morning to you, everybody. And on this pleasant Tuesday from the Larry H. Miller Field here in Provo, Utah, on the campus of Brigham Young University, we welcome you to Day 2 of the 2024 UHSAA 6A Baseball Playoffs on KSL Sports Rewind. Today, we kick off our coverage with an elimination battle between two of the top 4 seeds, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels and the Davis Darts. And with my broadcast partner, Josh Dodge, Alexander Tumulip, kicking off Day 2 here. And let me tell you, Josh, what we saw yesterday, nobody could have foreseen this coming. I mean, we have the top 2 seeds, 2 of the top 4 seeds here in Mountain Ridge and Davis in the first game. And then we have Riverton, who got absolutely whacked yesterday by Lehigh, of all teams. They're in the elimination bracket. I guess it's safe to say the underdogs have come to play in this tournament.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility to have an upset in any tournament setting, but to have 3 of the 4 games be upsets and one of them just be a total shellacking by Lehigh over Riverton last night, it's definitely unusual. And we were really treated yesterday with the games that we got, and hopefully it continues on that theme today.
So Mountain Ridge and Davis, they both lost their first-round games yesterday, Josh. The overarching story of today seems to be who can get their offense going first, and it seems like who can get their pitching right first as well, because yesterday Mountain Ridge gave up 3 spots in the first and the third innings, and the Davis gave up that 6th spot after they made that interesting decision to pull their starter Caleb Weaver for the left-hander Spencer Cannon, and then Croydon Christensen came in. We all know how that went after that. It's going to be really interesting to see how the coaching decisions factor into all of that today, because this is a big game for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think that no team is safe if they start late. You can't really dilly-dally around and hope to come back in the 6th or 7th inning, because it just hasn't happened all tournaments.
So, Josh, in an elimination game like this, as we look forward to this elimination game, what are you most looking forward to watching about this game and maybe the next game we're going to see in Riverton against Syracuse?
I'm looking forward to the high-powered matchup between Mountain Ridge and Davis being, the 2 and the 3 seed, finding themselves in the losers bracket, and one of them is going to go home. And then the winner of this is going to have a rematch against either Corner Canyon or Mountain Ridge possibly in the next round, and trying to make their way back to the state championship.
It's going to be an interesting day, Josh, after what we saw yesterday. I think we're going to have more drama today.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can't come to the 6A state playoffs like this and expect there not to be drama.
Well, what else are we going to have here on Day 2? We're about to find out. It's win or go home. The first of our 2 elimination games today. Mountain Ridge takes on Davis. When we come back, we'll have the Heidemann and Associates starting lineups. We'll have the national anthem, and then we'll have first pitch. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs. You're home for all UHSAA championships. It's win or go home on Day 2. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University. Our first win or go home game of the day features the Mountain Ridge Sentinels and the Davis Darts. Before we get to the starting lineups, introductions, and everything by public address announcer Paul Binns, time to introduce the starting lineups for this morning's elimination game. See who the coaches have assembled as their winning teams today, presented by Heidemann and Associates, the full-service law firm that's fully committed to winning for you, the client. Let's start by meeting the Mountain Ridge Sentinels team, first of all. Leading off for them will be Stockton Folks, the third baseman. Jackson Reiser, their starting pitcher, will be playing in that hole, and he will be batting second. Remington Edwards playing in right field and the third batting man in the order. Cleanup will be held by Austin Ellis. Left fielder Ethan Yacono will play fifth, and DH Cooper Goff will follow him in sixth. First baseman Luke Nelson will be batting seventh. Juan Gonzalez will be batting eighth and second base, and Leo Bachoco will be the shortstop and batting ninth. And for Davis, this is their lineup they're putting out today. Caleb Weaver will be playing third base and batting leadoff. Owen Talbot, the center fielder, second. Wally Grant, the second baseman, third. Shortstop Max Hunter will be cleanup. Jackson Marble will be playing second today and batting fifth. And now designated hitter Carter Knight will be batting sixth. Carter Garrett will be batting seventh. He'll be playing right field. Gavin Jacks will be catcher, once again batting eighth. And Seth Jarman will be in left field and batting ninth. And starting today for Davis, which we'll get to that in a second, is Andrew Fili Moehala.
At first base, number 1, Luke Nelson. At second base, number 24, Juan Gonzalez. At shortstop, number 8, Leo Pachoco. And center field, number 20, Grayson Wright. The Sentinels are coached by Mr. Brock Whitney. And now the home team.
So both teams shaking hands. They're both lined up on the line. The first of our two unexpected elimination game matchups. One could not have imagined that Mountain Ridge and Davis would be playing for a spot just to stay alive in this 6A baseball tournament. So now time for the national anthem. Here's public address announcer Paul Binns.
Thank you. Our umpires today, behind the plate, Mr. Lyle Bingham. On the first base line, Mr. Nate Dewberry. And on the third base line, Mr. Anthony Preston.
So, here we go then. And so, Josh Dodge, I turn to you now, and well, we are about to find out who can get their pitching going first, because Andrew Filimoy-Hala and Jackson Reiser both have big tasks ahead of them today, especially I would think the pressure is more so on the Davis Darts and their starter, Andrew Filimoy-Hala.
Yeah, definitely. He's a senior, and he's got a lot of experience under his belt, but he's got a tall task ahead of him to make sure that he stifles that Mountain Ridge offense. Like we said, they're going to want to get started fast, and they're going to want to, not want to get behind the 8 ball in this game like both of them did yesterday. So he's gonna have to be on top of his game, and he's gonna have to pitch well out there.
So Josh, I also want to bring that up as well for the viewers at home. We talked about how Mountain Ridge and Fremont yesterday was really small ball with the Fremont Silverwolves. It was small ball against power ball. We really didn't see a whole lot of power ball yesterday by the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. They were forced to play the Fremont Silverwolves game of small ball. So do you think Mountain Ridge has to take more of that small ball approach, or do they really have to get their power ball offense going in this game early?
I just think they weren't able to get to their Powerball because of all the mistakes and the nerves that they were showing yesterday, that they were on edge, they were off of their game, and you really have to be in a mindset where you're on the attack and you're taking control of this game, and they just were never really able to get there against Fremont, and it was too little too late in the end.
And Josh, I also want to bring that up because you and I touched on that a lot yesterday during the Mountain Ridge game when we were watching against Fremont. Do you think there's less pressure on both these teams today, or do you think there's more pressure on these teams today just because of the fact that this is a win-or-go-home kind of game?
Oh, it has to be more pressure. And it has to be more pressure because neither one of them thought they'd be at this point unless they're here on purpose, which I highly doubt both of them are happy that they're here in the loser's bracket with one of them possibly going home. I think tensions are going to be a lot higher today. We saw Brock Whitney kind of get into it with the third base judge yesterday, and I expect that he'll be out on the diamond again talking to these umpires.
Well, we're about to find out who can come out on top first. Taking a look at the weather forecast from the National Weather Service, 52 degrees down at Provo Municipal Airport right now. Wind speed out of the west at 6 miles per hour, as we've seen on our flag during the national anthem. The wind is blowing from right field to left field today, but not as prevalent as it was last night when it was blowing in more the 15 to 20 mile per hour range and swirling around here inside Larry H. Miller Field.
Yeah, I think the wind went all directions yesterday. We just watching the flag at the back of Miller Park. It definitely threw us for a loop as those gusts of winds came and went, but mostly were coming.
Yeah, mostly during the nighttime, too. I mean, during the night game, you could really see the flag was swirling and whipping around all over the field. I mean, at one point, I think during one sequence, it changed direction, Josh, at least 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I remember being on camera and watching the flag specifically, and it died and it changed direction. It was incredible.
So Stockton Folks, the third baseman, to lead off the first game of day 2. Filimoy Hala kicks and deals, and his first pitch is down low for ball 1. And so we go off into the unknown that is the elimination round.
And Stockton is one of those leading batters for Mountain Ridge, having 6 home runs on the season. So if they want to get into their Powerball mentality, he's the right guy to lead it off for them.
He has a 2-0 count right now, favorable count for him. Filimoy Hala kicks and deals, and his first 3 pitches have all missed down, up, and away. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes. Danger losing in Filimoy Hala. Next pitch doesn't catch the corner. It's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the first game of the day.
I do think that in this first inning for both of these teams, it's going to be a little bit of feeling out and trying to, calm that tension, but it's palpable. Like, you're not going to be able to break it, but you're just going to kind of feel out how this game is going to go.
I mean, you said it, Josh. I mean, when the first pitch was thrown by Filimoy Hala, this whole place just got dead silent.
Oh yeah, you could hear a pin drop. It was incredible. I'm sure that there are people still on their way, and we're going to see a much larger crowd today. But these Mountain Ridge and Davis fans are definitely anxious to get going here. And Filimoy Hala is eyeing down his catcher as he's got the pitch in for a strike.
And he's got 2 strikes now on Jackson Reiser, the starting pitcher, coming up in the bottom of the first for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Of course, there's graduation going on up the way at the Marriott Center. There's at least 2 or 3 going on this today, and then there's 2 or 3 more tomorrow at the Marriott Center. Should be interesting, as this one is rocketed foul over to the right side past the dugout.
Yeah, I got a notification on my phone about how there's going to be some traffic jams today and tomorrow and the next day because of all graduation and all the events going on here at BYU. So
not looking forward to that.
No. We want to be right here calling baseball all day long.
Yes. Check throw back to first and in safely is Stockton Folks. I mean, honestly, I'd be rather calling games any day with either of yous here. Of course, Josh Dodge will be doing the first game with me. And then Ty Wilkinson will be doing the last 3 games of the day with me. Of course, filling in for Wilson Gustafson, who's still a little bit under the weather.
Shout out to Wilson. Please get better.
As this one is rocketed back up the middle, and that's a base hit. First hit of the ball game belongs to Jackson Reiser and the Sentinels. And they already have 2 men on with nobody out here in the top half of the first inning.
And that was a statement from Reiser. There was definitely some oomph behind that line drive over the pitcher's head.
And Filimoy Hala almost had to duck for cover. More like protect his teeth rather than protect his head as a whole.
Yeah, that was definitely a business decision by Filimoy Hala.
Filimoy Hala's first pitch in there for a strike. To the third man in the order, the right fielder, Remington Edwards. He'll be followed by the catcher, Austin Ellis, batting cleanup today. Has a look back at second is Filimoy Hala. Now the pitch. And that is again right there at the thighs for a strike. So after the 4-pitch walk, Filimoy Hala has thrown 6 consecutive strikes. Could not strike out Reiser, though. Will he get Remington Edwards? He had Reiser on an 0-2 count. Now he has Edwards on an 0-2 count.
You know, we spoke yesterday during the Mountain Ridge game about the coach setting the tone for these teams, and I think both Brock Whitney and Joshua Godfrey have talked to their teams about, and they know what the situation is, and they've led their teams out, and I can see Godfrey's strategy through Filimahala's arm. I mean, he's bringing the heat, he's bringing it early, and he's serious about wanting to win this game.
This one is a fly ball into center field. Talbot will make the catch. Runners will tag and go. They throw into second, is not in time. Jackson Reiser gets in ahead of the throw. So there's one out now on the sacrifice fly. That will advance the runners up to first and second. And now and here we go, Josh, on cue.
Yeah.
The umpires are already hearing it from the players.
Oh yeah. Yeah, here's the tension starting to show through, that competitive spirit, and good on Mountain Ridge for getting into scoring position early. I think this is earlier than yesterday for sure.
Yeah, it was Fremont yesterday who sucker punched them in the mouth and continued to throw big shot after big shot. Here they have second and third with one out, as this pitch by Filimoy Hala is left up high, 1 ball, no strikes.
And Stockton Folks is eager to come home. He's leading off of third, and he's getting a running start.
This one is grounded to the left side, foul. I mean, the adrenaline and the energy and the tension, you can definitely feel it right now.
Oh, I'm sure that if any of these athletes here were like me, that before a game, like, there was high anxiety, but you just wanted to get out there and play. It wasn't nervousness. It was the anticipation, and the adrenaline pumping up, because your brain knew, like, hey, like, it's time to go out there and compete and battle.
Austin Ellis gets plunked with the pitch.
And he loves it. He's yelling at his dugout to get fired up.
And
he
sure
hit,
does.
but he doesn't feel it.
Cannon Honeycutt will go to take his place now at first. And just like that, the bags are full of Sentinels with only one out here in the top half of the first inning. As home plate umpire Lyle Mangum goes out to get the lineups, and we're all set now.
And Ethan Iacono is stepping up to the plate. He was the starting pitcher for yesterday, and ran into some pitching woes in the middle of the game and had to get pulled. But I'm sure he's eager to get out there and to contribute for his team at the bag right now with the bases loaded.
He's playing in left field today. The 1-0 pitch from Filimoy Hala. That one catches the inside half for a strike. Both of these teams ran into some serious traffic yesterday on both ends of the field. Now it's the Davis Darts who are staggered a little bit at the beginning, as Iacono swings and misses at that one for strike 2.
Yeah, they were just really up against it. Never led. Davis led, and then Corner Canyon had that big 6-run inning, but Fremont had led the whole way over Mountain Ridge. So, both of these teams were in deep trouble for most of their games yesterday. So I'm sure they don't want to be back in that situation again.
This one is lifted in the air to right, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. At least one run will score. They'll throw the stop sign up on the runners. Stockton Folks comes in from third, and on the RBI single, it is 1-0 in favor of Mountain Ridge. Credit that RBI for Ethan Iacono, the left fielder. And a great start for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as they're able to scratch across a run.
And Carter Garrett out in right field for Davis must have just lost it in the sun. It was near the right field baseline, and just couldn't find it, couldn't locate it for that out.
So Filimoy Hala back to work. First pitch is outside the corner. 1 ball, no strikes. To the DH, Cooper Goff. The bases are still loaded with only 1 out. 1-0 pitch. And it looked like he went. Yeah, he did. 1-1. Lyle Mangum is our home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. Anthony Martinez is out at second, covering second and third base. One pitch. Just misses below the knees. 2 balls and a strike. We'll get the full 3-man umpiring crew here in just a second from our statisticians. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Base hit to right. That's going to be trouble. 1 run at least will score. They're going to send the runner home from third. The throw to the plate is cut off. It's a 2-run single for Cooper Goff. And the Mountain Ridge Sentinels have put up a 3 spot in the very first inning.
And that's an incredible baseline hit from Cooper Goff. He's just a freshman, so he's going to have a lot more hits like that in his future. And I commend him for being just a freshman and being the designated hitter for these for this varsity Mountain Ridge squad.
And Josh Godfrey is already on his way out to the mound. And we already have action in the Davis bullpen. As we have right-hander Sam Sevi now starting to stretch and toss. And Croydon Christensen is now starting to stretch and toss as well. And now we have an extra arm going out to the bullpen. That's Landon McLaughlin, who is joining the party in the bullpen. So already some traffic and already some trouble for the Davis Darts pitching staff here.
Oh, yeah, and it's just, again, it's that feeling of, like, look, like we were behind most of yesterday. So we don't want to be in that situation again. We're not going to, you got a short leash. You either get out of this inning with no more scores, or we're going to pull you. So
runners at first and second, 1 out, and in steps the first baseman Luke Nelson. Andrew Filimoy Hala running into some trouble early on as this one is lined into center. Talbot will make the catch. The runners will not tag in advance. And on 1 pitch, there's 2 out. And you got to say, Josh, that is a big-time response there from Andrew Filimoy Hala after the mound visit by Josh Godfrey.
Yeah, and I wonder, perhaps it's because I don't know a ton about baseball, but do you feel good about giving off a line drive fly that, is out in center field, or would you rather just strike out or, have a grounder to the shortstop that tags out at the base?
That's a good question, as that pitch is in there for a strike to the second baseman Juan Gonzalez, who had a 2-run single yesterday, and that lost to Fremont. You almost feel like that would be the line out is better than the grounder, because at least you're not putting yourself in danger of getting it into a double play, as Gonzalez shanks that one foul off to the left near the bullpen, out near the fence guarding University Parkway.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But then again, if you don't know much about baseball, what does that say about me?
I haven't played baseball since I was 9. I mean, of course, I played with some family just for fun and stuff. But yeah, it's been many years.
Meanwhile, Gonzalez loops one in the left field for a base hit. And looky here, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels going small ball. 4-0 in favor of the Sentinels here early on in the top of the first.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's incredibly fun to be out here and to be calling a baseball game. It's not it's a new experience, but it's incredible to be here. Sorry for Wilson and how he's feeling and such, but I'm definitely benefiting from it.
I think he might have to have a word with you after that, as that pitch by Filimoy Hala is up high. This is Leo Bachoco, by the way, and this means that the Mountain Ridge Sentinels have sent all possible hitters to the plate in the very first inning, and Stockton Folks can be the 10th batter of this inning. As this ball is left up high, 2-0, and now, as we see multiple arms in the bullpen now for the Davis Darts. 2-0 pitch. This one is right at the knees for a strike. I mean, if you're Andrew Filimoy-Hala, I mean, you just want to get out of this inning as quickly as you can and limit any further damage. 9 men have come to the plate, 4 base hits, and 4 runs. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Made him chase that one.
Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And 2 runners on. Two pitch. And this is chop foul to the backstop.
Yeah, I'm sure Andrew Filimoy-Hala doesn't like the view in the bullpen right now. It's got to motivate him a little bit, motivate him to get out of this inning, but also give him confidence going into the next inning if he's going to come back to the mound.
2-2 pitch. And the count goes full on Leo Bachoco. You can hear Brock Whitney on the third base coaching box audibly from up here where we're sitting.
And even though it's early, this is going to be a crucial full count pitch.
Filimoy-Hala comes set. Payoff pitch on the way. 3-2. Runners go. And it's ball 4. And the bags once again are loaded.
It just got away from him. You wanted to...
And here comes Stockton Folks again. 10 batters in the first inning. I mean, you talk about coming out with energy and with desperation. I mean, this is coming out with motivation for Mountain Ridge right now. Here's Filimoy-Hala, kicks and deals the first pitch to Folks, and he misses that one well inside.
You can tell that these Mountain Ridge Sentinels, as soon as yesterday's game was over, they wanted to get back out there and play again. They were ready this morning. They came to play, and they're definitely showing it here in the top of this first.
Filimoy-Hala kicks and deals, 1-0 pitch. That is down in the carpet, 2 balls and no strikes. We started this game at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's taken us 20 minutes just to get past this first 2/3 of an inning. 10 batters to the plate, 4 runs have scored, 4 hits. Will there be more? And it's ball 3. And here comes the captain, Jackson Marble, in from second base to have a chat with his pitcher. He who had the RBI triple yesterday, now trying to give some encouragement to his pitcher.
And moving over from third base to second base is Marble today. And being a little bit closer to the mound, I suppose, to go and pat his pitcher on the back.
Ball 4, 5-0.
And I think he's going to need more than just a pep talk from his captain or his catcher to be able to get out of this inning right now.
So the bases remain loaded for the 11th batter of this inning coming to the plate, Jackson Reiser, the pitcher. He's gonna have at least a 5-0 lead before he throws his first pitch of the day. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's an incredible luxury to have, and it doesn't mean that he can fall back on his laurels and just coast, but he's got to take care of business himself.
This one off the end of the bat into left, and that finally retires the side. But not before 5 runs score in the inning on 4 base hits, 11 batters to the plate. What a start for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. We will be back after this word from Modern Missionary Odeon on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, it was really busy just a few seconds ago. It's quieted down now as we head to the bottom of the first inning with our score, Mountain Ridge 5, Davis 0. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge here at Larry H. Miller Field. Josh, you and I were just talking about it. 11 batters to the plate for Mountain Ridge. 5 runs scored on 4 base hits. including the RBI walk drawn by Stockton Folks. It took us 23 minutes to get out of that top half of the first inning. And now you have Jackson Reiser on the mound with a 5-0 lead before he even throws his first pitch. You were just talking about it, though, Josh. He can't exactly just fall back on his laurels and coast here.
Definitely, and Mountain Ridge has completely flipped the script from what happened yesterday. If you remember, it was Ethan Iacono that had 33 pitches in that first inning, and they did the same thing to Andrew Filamolahala. But yes, you're right that Jackson Reiser has to step up, and he's got to rein himself in, and he's got to be disciplined in his pitches and get him over the plate. But also his teammates got to help him out in playing the field and keeping these guys off the bases.
And look who's leading off here to begin the game here for Davis as Ty is zooming in on him. Caleb Weaver, who had a really strong performance yesterday, Josh. I mean, he was able to go 5 strong innings, but then that interesting decision was made to pull him because of that pitch count cap. What's got to be going through his mind right now as the leadoff hitter looking up at a 5-run deficit?
He's got to be the leader of this team. He's got to get out there and show them that they're here to trade punches, not just take them.
Weaver went 5+ innings yesterday, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He allowed 2 runs, both earned, on 4 base hits, and then everything came unglued in that 6th inning for the Davis Darts. 6 runs came across the score on 5 base hits as the Chargers sent 9 men to the plate. Here, the Darts are looking up at a 5-0 deficit before Jackson Reiser throws his first pitch, which he kicks and deals and is down low in the dirt for ball 1. Weaver playing third base today. He was the starting pitcher yesterday, as we mentioned. 1-0 pitch is just below the knees there. 2 balls and no strikes.
And after going through 11 batters there, he's got to warm up a little bit. He's probably expecting to be pitching before now. 25 minutes into this game.
2-1 the count now on Caleb Weaver. Jackson Reiser kicks and deals. That one is on the corner. Good dot there from the fastball, and it's strike 2.
There he goes. Now he's settled in.
Two and 2 the count on Caleb Weaver. Jackson Reiser from the stretch. Kicks, fires. Ground ball over his head to second. Picked up on 2 hops. Throw over to first, and it is bobbled and dropped. Wouldn't have been in time anyway as Caleb Weaver reaches base safely. I wonder how they're going to score that. It will likely go down as a base hit. For now, it does. But that's a heck of a start offensively to a response there for the Davis Darts from their leader, Caleb Weaver.
Yeah, now Caleb Weaver and the Davis Darts can take a big, deep breath because they're on base and it's just the leadoff base hit for their team. But the thing that I'm concerned about is we just saw kind of an error from the first baseman for the Sentinels, Luke Nelson, and I mean the Sentinels just don't want to get into the same cacophony of mistakes that they were making yesterday. Just it's bad for their team. They get off their game, and with a 5-0 lead, that doesn't want to be the last scoring that they're going to do for the day.
2-0 the count here to Owen Talbot, the center fielder. Caleb Weaver reached on that infield single to begin proceedings for the Davis Darts on the bottom of the first. This one is tap foul off the catcher, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Trying to figure out if Jackson Reiser is a part of that Reiser-Mulford tree. I would think he probably is. Not sure though. Got to confirm that with inside sources.
At the very least, a distant relation.
That one is fouled, and that goes onto the roof. So as it has been through the last couple of days, it's time for an Any Hour Services Random Roof Ringer, where we dig up random factoids about the game of baseball and share them on the air with our viewers. We'll do that after this 2-2 pitch that comes down from Jackson Reiser. And that plunks the center fielder Owen Talbot, and he will trot down to first. And just like that, there are 2 runners on with nobody out. So, Josh Dodge, what do you got dug up for the viewers here this morning?
Well, I admit I was a bit caught off guard and unprepared, but I got pulled up quickly. I'm on the ball. Okay. So, Alex, you probably know the answer to this, but can you name the Major League Baseball franchise with the most World Series wins?
Dude, that's... I mean, you're asking me that. I mean, as that ball goes up and away for ball 1, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is the New York Yankees, 27 pennants. I mean, it's them.
That is exactly right.
I mean,
you're on the ball, too.
I mean, the last pennant I saw them win was in 09, and then that was when they had A-Rod. This is ripped over to the hole at second. Great catch on the soft liner there at second.
That's Juan Gonzalez.
By Gonzalez, just crumpling to the ground. Thank you, Josh, for helping me on that one.
You're good. You're good. Hey, you helped me on Yankees and the 27 titles. You were spot on. And,
yes.
We help each other out.
The highest payroll, one of the highest payrolls in baseball, and with Aaron Judge and all that jazz and Juan Soto, and they still can't win a World Series after all these years.
I mean, they have all that money for a reason.
Right. Check throw back to first, and after ball 1, back in safely is Owen Talbot. It was a soft line drive hit by Wally Grant, and Gonzalez was right there in the hole to catch it. He just had to crumple to his knees and get the line drive. Now here is Max Hunter, the shortstop. This one is fouled, and once again it hits the tarp. So that's going to roll right back down, I believe, onto the other side of the field, but that means we're going to have our second random roof ringer presented by Any Hour Services coming up here in just a little bit.
I'm ready for this one, though.
Oh, good. We're all awake now. That's good. So is Max Hunter. Jackson Reiser is as well from the 0-2 kick and deal, and that is inside and high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
All right, Alex, did you know that a baseball pitcher's curveball can curve over 17 inches away from a straight line toward home plate? 17
inches, wow. I mean, as the 1-2 pitch comes down, and that hits Max Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, just
so
about the length of your forearm, like it. So if you stood in a center line between home plate and the mound and stuck your arm out away from your body, that's how far it would move.
Can you imagine how many rotations per minute that would generate, though? I mean, a shout out, by the way, to my buddy Braden Marks, who's currently at the University of Hawaii. He got the first career start this past weekend, and I know head coach Darren Henry up at Pleasant Grove, proud of him for his first start and his first win. I mean, you talk about generating some RPMs on that thing. Marksy's curveball has some serious rotations on that thing, because I can't imagine how fast that would be spinning away from my body at that point if it's going that far out, 17 inches.
Oh, definitely, and that's like no like Joe Schmo type of thing. Like you can just throw a curveball. Like, no, that's a ton of training and a ton of work put into getting that ball and having it move to really trick the batter and into swinging at something like that, or possibly not swinging.
So Jackson Marble now comes up, and he is the 5th batter in the inning now for the Davis Darts. So the bases are full of black shirts, and there's 1 out. Jackson Reiser ready, kicks and deals. That one is on the inner half for a strike, about letter high. The only out in this inning was the line out caught by Juan Gonzalez. The 0-1 pitch is inside and high on the letters this time, 1 ball, 1 strike. Marble yesterday had that RBI triple against Corner Canyon that brought home the go-ahead run that gave Davis the lead. Meanwhile, he takes strike 2 here on the knees. Good fastball from Jackson Reiser. Carter Knight, the DH, stands on deck as the 6th man in the order. 1-2 pitch on the way. Got him! Blew the fastball right by him. And that's a big strikeout there for Jax Reiser, and there are 2 gone here in the inning.
And this is just the time to really step on Davis and send him back back to the dugout with 0 runs this inning.
From the belt, Reiser kicks, fires. That one catches the bottom corner for a strike. Good location on that fastball. Reiser comes set. 0-1 pitch. That's right there as well. 2 strikes the count. He is dealing.
He's not thinking about making the batter chase right now. He's wanting to throw it right down the pipe and get out of this inning.
Well, can he do it one more time? 0-2 pitch. This one fouled away over to the parking lot of Helaman Halls. And somebody's insurance probably is going up over there. Actually, I heard a thud over there. That might have actually hit somebody's car.
Well, if it's just a college car, you don't really care much about it.
That's true, yeah. But if it's my car, we're going to have problems.
Yeah, mine too.
The 0-2 pitch. And that is jammed foul off the hands. The 2 outs in this inning, a line out and a strikeout. Can Jackson Reiser get one more here? That one just a little bit high. Had to snatch it down a couple of inches, but a good spot on that off-speed pitch. 1-2. One, two. This one gets by. To the backstop. Throw to home. Not going to get the runner. And the Davis starts to break the seal.
Not a huge deal. Error by the catcher Austin Ellis, but Davis still has 2 runners in scoring position, so they don't want to keep giving up more here with those types of errors.
That one is golf foul into the parking lot of Helaman Halls again. That'll go down as a passed ball and an unearned run against Jackson Reiser. 5-1 Davis now here in the bottom of the first. And there's still more to come, potentially. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into right. That's a base hit down the line. 1 run will score. Here comes the second. And a 2-run single for Carter Knight.
And these are the punches being traded now. It's 5-3, and it's time to play ball because Mountain Ridge had Davis on the ropes in the top of the inning, and now Davis has answered, and they're not done yet.
So after 11 batters came to the plate in the first inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, this is the 7th man coming to the plate here for the Davis starts in this inning. And a cut and a miss there from the right fielder, Carter Garrett, for strike 1. Runner on first is Carter Knight. 0-1 pitch coming from Reiser. From the belt. Misses just below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check throw back to first, and back in safely is the runner Knight. 3 runs, 2 base hits, no errors. One of those runs was unearned on the pass ball. 5-3 Mountain Ridge now here in this bottom of the first. Kick and fire, and that one hits the bottom corner for a strike. And once again, Davis on their final strike here in this inning. Jackson Reiser just trying to get out of it. This one is flicked towards short. Throw to first. Not going to get him. Carter Garrett beats out the throw. And the inning will continue as Gavin Jacks, now the catcher, comes to the plate.
And Bachoco had that force out at second. However, he chose to go all the way over to first to try to end the inning.
So the 8th man to bat here is Gavin Jacks, as he chops one to the hot corner at third, and unassisted, the third baseman will come over, step on the bag.
Oh.
And it looks like they're going to rule that a foul ball as he picked it up outside the line.
Okay.
So we'll do it again.
I thought I misspoke and thought there were 2 outs, but there are 2 outs.
There are 2 outs, but the ground ball was picked up behind the line, so by rule that's a foul ball.
Yes.
Here's the 0-1. This one gets by the catcher again, and it'll move the runners up 90 feet. And believe it or not, the tying run's now in scoring position.
See, and this is the chink in the armor for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. This is exactly how things were falling apart yesterday, where it's just like one mistake after the other, and it just kind of turned into a snowball effect.
5-3 here in this inning. 3 runs have already scored on 3 base hits, and 8 men have already come to the plate. And now the Darts, after being down 5-0, are threatening to tie it. 1-1 pitch is fouled right back to the screen in our direction. And once again, Davis is on their final strike of the inning.
And our cameraman, Ty Wilkinson, tried to reach out and grab it, but the net saved all of us, for sure.
Seth Jarman, the 9th man in the order, stands on deck. He would be the 20th batter of this entire inning to bat for both sides. 11 were sent to the plate by Mountain Ridge in the first. 8 have swung here for Davis. 1-2 pitch. Down low in the carpet, 2 balls and 2 strikes. What a start to this game we've had here this morning. 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul up the left side and past Josh Godfrey over at third base.
Yeah, I hope all the innings and all the games are just this exciting. I'd love to see a baseball game go like 21-19 or something, but I'm sure that would just be wishful thinking by my part.
It would also drive the coaches nuts if the game was 21. Game was 20 runs each.
Oh yeah, they might go through their entire bullpen, both of them.
From the belt, kicks, fires, down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the count goes full again. Seth Jarman stands on deck as the potential 20th total batter of this entire first inning that has lasted close to 45 minutes. 3-2. High pop-up in the air to right, trumpeting in the foul ground. Nelson is there, and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels escape a huge jam in the bottom of the first. But 3 runs come across the score on 3 base hits for the Davis Darts, and we've got a ball game brewing here in our first game of the day in this winner-go-home elimination game. We'll be back on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, what a start we've had to day 2 of this 6A baseball tournament in our first winner-go-home game of the day. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge here from the Kimball Press Box here at Larry Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University. 5-3 as we head to the top half of the second inning. And Public Address Announcer Paul Binge just announced the pitch counts for both sides. 40-39 in that first inning. There were a lot of pitches thrown in that inning, and 19 total batters totaling 8 runs, and 8 runs on 7 base hits, Josh. What a start we've had.
Definitely, and those pitch counts are not going to bode well for the 110 hard cap on these high school pitchers. We're going to see a pitching change, sooner rather than later for these starters, and we were treated with the fireworks. We saw tons of entertaining baseball yesterday, and like we had hoped in the pregame this morning, that we're seeing more of it today.
Yeah, both of these teams coming out with desperation as the third man in the order, 3-4-5, set to lead off as Filimoy Hala delivers that one for a strike. Our umpiring crew this morning, Calling the balls and strikes behind the plate is Lyle Mangum at first base, and covering the second base bag also up that line is Nate Newberry. And Anthony Preston is covering third and the hole down the left field line. 2-2, 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I'm genuinely happy that I'm up here in the press box and not one of those umpires out there. They do a great job.
Yeah, they really do a great job. I mean, Doug Jardine, one of our cameramen, is doing the softball tournament this weekend. As that one is in there for strike 2. I just stand corrected. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, not 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch is lifted in the air to right and into the Mountain Ridge bullpen. Look out.
4.
Wasn't a full-on hosel rocket, but I think we all got the idea. But getting back to what I was saying, Doug Jardine, one of our cameramen who's been a UHSA official for a long time, as Billy Moihala gets his first strikeout of the day. And 1 man is gone here in the top half of the second inning.
And Remington Edwards really reached for that one. You could see as he was trying to chase it that he was off balance and he wasn't going to put any power on that anyway.
That'll bring up Austin Ellis to the plate. One of the 11 men to come to the plate in the first inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels against Andrew Filimoihala, who kicks from the belt and fires inside of 1 ball, no strikes. But getting back to what I was saying about Doug, he's been a UHSA official for many, many years, and he's actually doing the softball tournament this weekend. This is skied in the air. Nobody can see it. Where is it going to drop? It drops into right field. Carter Garrett was looking up saying, I don't know where the heck it is. Jackson Marble says, I'm not getting it, you get it. And then the center fielder Owen Talbot had to come over and play fire drill over there, and eventually there's 2 out.
And our cameraman Ty Wilkinson said that it was wavering in the air. It's a bit windy out there now, a little more so than at the beginning of the game. We see that American flag in center field waving from right to left, right field to left field.
Yeah, it changed direction. It was waving earlier from east of right field, of the northeast direction of right field, coming across the other way. As this is flown into right again. This one is going to be trouble. Better call somebody off. First baseman Wally Grant comes over, makes the catch, and a much-needed clean inning there for the Mountain Ridge, for the Davis Darts. They set down the Sentinels in order at Kahi Elua Aloha in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It is 5-3 Mountain Ridge on the Rewind Sports Network.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, there's the flag out in right center field that Josh Dodge was just referencing alongside me, Alexander Timolet, for Game 1 of Day 2, this winner-go-home elimination game here in this 6A baseball tournament between the top 2 seeds, Mountain Ridge and Davis. 5 runs were put up in the first inning by Mountain Ridge. 3 were put up in the first inning by Davis. All told, 20 total batters came to the plate, or 19 total batters came to the plate, 8 total base hits, 8 total runs in a first inning that lasted just under 45 minutes. And that top half of the second lasted just under 3 minutes, by contrast. And so Jackson Reiser back to work with a 2-run lead.
You know, and Alex, I'm checking my notes here, but doesn't this seem eerily similar to the game we had with Mountain Ridge yesterday, but just the roles reversed, where it was Mountain Ridge that had a high pitch count first inning and then a low pitch count second inning, and that seems to be Davis today. So I'm a little creeped out. Just maybe a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. Deja vu, you know.
Well, maybe it could be. You know, I don't know, because the roles are most certainly reversed. But you know, it's an elimination game. Both teams are coming out with some desperation, as Jarman misses at that one. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes the count on Seth Jarman. Jackson Reiser stretches and fires, and he struck him out. That's the second K of the day in the book for Jackson Reiser, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Caleb Weaver to the plate. He was one of the 7 men to come to the plate, or rather the 8 men to come to the plate in the bottom of the first for the Davis Darts, of which 3 scored on 3 base hits against Jackson Reiser, who fires in for a strike right at the knees. Winner of this game moves on to tomorrow. Loser goes home. That one hits the high right corner for a strike. Good location on that pitch.
And it'll be interesting to see whoever wins this game and wins the game between their opponents from yesterday later today. Like, would you want to rematch either Fremont or Corner Canyon, or would you want to see the opposite team?
That was right on the corner, but had to snatch it back to the left a couple of inches, so didn't get the call. Well, I think in the vernacular of this tournament, I think you'd almost rather have a rematch because then you know who you're playing. And because you already know what their style is, and you already know what they've scouted, so...
But especially in the case for Fremont and Mountain Ridge, Fremont led that entire game, and it was rather just suffocating baseball that they were playing against the Sentinels.
As a ground out 6-3. Good throw there from Leo Pachoco over to first. Luke Nelson for the 6-3 put out. There's 2 gone here in the bottom half of the second. But that's a good point you bring up too, Josh, because you talked about it. Like in the situation, you already do know who you're playing, but at the same time, you're also going up against a team that, in the case of if you are Fremont playing against Mountain Ridge or Corner Canyon playing against Davis tomorrow, if it is an elimination game, there might be that in the back, that feeling in the back of your mind that, yeah, we faced them before, but we've also been trailing for much of the time against them.
For sure, and no 2 games are going to go exactly the same. You know, there's lots of things that can break one way or the other, and you know, the games yesterday weren't elimination games because of this double elimination format. So there could be that tension and that fire in you know, like, hey, we don't want to go home. That could boost the morale of one team or the other to pull it out.
This one is hit on one hop to second. Throw to first in time, and that ends the inning. So the second inning goes much cleaner for both sides. Both sides get set down. Ekahi, Elua, Aloha in order. In the bottom of the second inning go the Davis Darts. It remains 5-3 as we go to the top of the third in Game 1 of Day 2 on the Rewind Sports Network. On this 52-degree day from Provo, Utah, welcome back to Larry H. Miller Field from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at the campus of BYU. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge. The first of our 2 winner-go-home games today between number 2 seed Davis and number 3 Mountain Ridge. It's a 5-3 game as we begin the top of the third. Mountain Ridge scored 5 times on 4 runs in the top of the first, sending 11 men to the plate. Davis sent 8 men to the plate in their half of the inning, scoring 3 times with 3 base hits, but both teams going through clean innings in the second. And now that springs up the 6th man of the order, 6, 7, 8 for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, Cooper Goff, the designated hitter. Against the pitcher, Andrew Filimoy Hala, who kicks and fires, and first pitch is grounded to second, and it gets past the second baseman, Jackson Marble. And I would assume that's going to be scored an error. It will. E4 on Jackson Marble.
Just a lapse in his execution, picking up that routine grounder. It was rather slow rolling, and he took his eye off the ball, just wanting to get it to the first baseman quickly.
So now this brings up the 7th man in the order, first baseman Luke Nelson. And he takes ball 1.
Well, if this game has been going like any of the others, we had a firework inning for the first one and a rather quick and chill inning for the second one. So now we should see more fireworks here in this one. We're just going up and down all day.
Check throw back into first, and in safely is Cooper Goff. Arm up in the bullpen right now for the Davis Darts is Landon McLaughlin, number 26. A right-hander. 2-0 pitch is fouled, and that's going to come right near the American Fork assistant coach sitting over there, but he didn't move 1 inch. That was quite impressive.
He knew where it was going.
He knew where it was going. It was going right over his noggin onto the other seat behind him.
I'm sure he's seen more than one of those pitches, more than one of those foul balls coming at him.
Yeah, that's right. As a check throw back into first, and in safely there is Goff. 2-1 pitch is inside corner for a strike. Good placement on that off-speed pitch there from Fili Moihala. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Andrew Fili Moihala against the 7th man in the order, Luke Nelson. Has a staring contest over at first base with Cooper Goff, and the 2-2 pitch is rocketed to short. Throw back to first. Double play. 6-3 DP. And there are 2 gone just like that in the top half of the third. Great defensive pick there by the shortstop, Max Hunter.
Yeah, definitely. What a play by Max Hunter, being able to hold his ground and bring in the line drive and then rifle it over to first base to catch Cooper Goff, the freshman, off the bag.
Juan Gonzalez now stands in, and he takes a strike at the inside half of the plate. The Riverton Silverwolves are now making their way into Miller Park. They'll be our next game up against the Syracuse Titans.
I think I see a purple top hat over there on one of the Riverton Silverwolves.
That must be Alex Vernon, as that one is grounded on 1 hop to short. Throw to first in time. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and following the double play, 6-3. There were no runners left on base after 1 error in the inning by Jackson Marble. No scoring in this inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It remains 5-3 as we go to the bottom of inning number 3. Well, the spotlight's on you, Mr. Jackson Reiser, here in the bottom half of the third inning of what's turned into a pitcher's duel. 1.5 clean innings through after 8 total runs scored in the first inning. It is 5-3 Mountain Ridge. Alexander Timlip and Josh Dodge. We'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA playoffs is presented all week long by Heidemann and Associates. Just like how the coaches have to assemble a batting order to get them a huge win on the diamond, Heidemann and Associates is committed to assembling a team that's committed to winning for you, the client, in any situation. Call them today or schedule your free consultation with them online at utah.law. Heart of the order here, 3-4-5 for the Davis Darts. Wally Grant, the first baseman, is the one to lead it off against Jackson Reiser. As we're just about at 12 o'clock p.m. noon local time here in Provo. And the first pitch for Jackson Reiser misses the outside corner for ball 1. One-0 pitch is grounded toward the hole. It is gloved at short. Good effort, though, by Bachoco to get the throw back in, but he will not get the runner, Grant. It's an infield single. And the Davis Darts had their leadoff man on for the second time in the first 3 innings.
At the plate, number 24, Max Hunter.
So up comes Max Hunter, who had that gem of a double play, an L6-3 double play, and then had the 6-3 put out to end the inning. Let's see if he can come through with a big knock here to get his buddy over a couple of bags. Whereas Reiser pours in a strike right at the thighs.
And Hunter is one of one of the Dart's best batters with most RBIs on the team as well as doubles. He has 11 doubles on the season and 30 RBIs. And I'm sure he's anxious to get on base here.
One ball, one strike the count. Runner on first is Wally Grant. One pitch is hit off the fists. And on a soft line, it is caught by Bachoco. And the runner, Wally Grant, scrambles back to his position. And on that line out, there's one out. Guess it'll go down as more of a pop out than a line out, but what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't hit quite right. You know, you could tell by the sound and the trajectory of it that it's not exactly where he wanted to place it. And let me tell you, like, hitting a ringer, like, I may not have played baseball in a long time, but I know what a ringer feels like, where the bat just vibrates because you hit it off the tip, and it just, makes your hands hurt.
It's like hitting a shank in golf.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch is hit high in the air. Where is that going? And that bounces flat off the roof. So that means it's time for another Any Hour Services random roof ringer after this 1-1 pitch. 1-1 pitch coming from Jackson Reiser. And time was called before the pitch was thrown. Okay, Josh, go ahead quickly.
All right, Alex. Some of the most famous baseball records include Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, Ted Williams' 407 batting average in 1941, Barry Bonds' 73 homers in 2001, and Cy Young's 511 career wins.
Wow, and you know, can you imagine having a 56-game hitting streak in a 162-game season now in Major League Baseball in this pitch clock era? I mean, batting 407 even in a pitch clock era. I mean, that in and of itself is an accomplishment, I would think, as a ground ball goes to short. 6, 4, 3, double play! We'll finish that thought when we come back from this break. The 6-4-3 twin killing gets Mountain Ridge out of the bottom of the third. No runs, one hit, no errors, and no runners left on base. We head to the top half of the fourth inning. Mountain Ridge still leads 5-3. Get a good look at the logo on top of the Larry H. Miller Field scoreboard. 5-3 is our score here as we head to the top of the fourth inning here this afternoon at Larry H. Miller Field from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box. Alexander Tumulp alongside my broadcast partner Josh Dodge. We've seen some great defensive plays on both ends of the diamond today. Of course, Max Hunter with a couple of gems, that L6-3 double play in the top of the third. And then, of course, that beautifully executed 6-4-3 double play. Our first executed double play of the entire week.
Yeah, and we're just getting spoiled with baseball yesterday and today. We're getting both ends of it: the offense in the first inning, and then the defense in the second and the third inning. It's good quality, comprehensive baseball here.
So Andrew Filimoy-Hala back to work here against the 9-man in the order, Leo Bachoco, the shortstop. As Bachoco hits this one high pop, tailing towards foul ground. Grant comes over and makes the catch near the foul line, and there's one out on one pitch. We were getting back to what I was saying about the Any Hour Services random roof ringer earlier about the 5 facts about baseball. I cannot imagine having a 56-game hitting streak or a 407 batting average in the pitch clock era. I mean, with how fast the game goes, I mean, it's got to be next to difficult, if not impossible, to have that these days.
Oh, and even with like a 56-game streak, like, do players even play that many games in a row, you know, in this day and age? And with these records and stats particularly, it makes you wonder, is like, will they ever be broken? Will they ever even be approached? You know, or is it something that's just going to stand in the record books, you know, for time and eternity?
Stockton Folk stands in. Bunted foul. Now rips this one into the line at short. And a great stretch fetch over there by Max Hunter. Had some trouble judging it off the bat. but able to come over and snag it. And 2 outs in the inning, and Max Hunter is putting on a clinic right now at short for the Davis Starts. Both shortstops are.
Are we playing baseball on turf or in a swimming pool? Because Max Hunter looks like he was diving into the water over there trying to get that ball.
I mean, he was, and he laid out for that. I mean, and you even saw he had some trouble judging it off the bat. He kind of stumbled, didn't know where it was going.
An excellent athletic play nonetheless.
Yes, excellent athletic play nonetheless, as Jackson Reiser stands in and takes a strike right at the thighs. A 1 pitch. This one is hit in the air, down the line and left, going towards the foul pole, and it is just foul. It lands about a few feet short of the wall, but that would have been some big-time trouble had that been a fair ball.
You know, we were talking off the air this morning, you know, just hoping and wondering if we were going to get a home run today, and that
was awfully close. It was well hit.
Yeah, it was carrying, and I was ducking out the window to see if it was going to make it, but it falls just short and just foul.
Yep, Anthony Preston down there at the third baseline, watching all the way. 0-2 pitch, and that is high up around the noggin right there. 1-2.
You know, and with this being a college diamond, that would be the place to do it. Is out at the down the baseline where it's only 347 and 343 respectively. Left field.
Reiser.
And right field.
Reiser didn't get that call. Philly Moihala thought he threw a strike, but both the catchers. They tried to frame it on that corner, but they've had to snatch it back a few inches to the left, and I think that's what's gotten them in trouble. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out, dropped the third strike, throw down to first is in time to get him on the 2-3 putout, and that ends proceedings in the inning. Once again, the Sentinels go in order. No scoring now through the last 2.5 innings. We now go to the bottom of the 4th with the score remaining 5-3. Well, whatever the Mountain Ridge bullpen is doing, I know it's not sunbathing. They're stretching out over there, but the bullpens have been active early and often here at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Timmup alongside Josh Dodge here at Larry H. Miller Field, coming to you from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here on the campus of BYU. It is 5-3 in favor of the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. So, Josh, we have not had a base hit for the last now 3 or 2.5 innings here. What do you think the pitchers or coaches have adjusted here that has allowed this to really become, in the last actually 2.5 innings, more of a pitcher's duel?
I don't know that it's necessarily an adjustment, but I think that that both teams in their offensive halves of the first inning just threw their best punches. They Mountain Ridge came out with 5 runs and had multiple hits and made Andrew Filimohala throw 40 pitches, and then Davis came out and responded against Jackson Reiser. So, they're kind of settling down. They're playing some great defense right now and some great pitches by both of the starters. But yeah, I definitely think that they came out firing in that first inning, and I don't know if it's necessarily fatigue setting in now, but it's definitely a defensive battle at this point.
Carter Knight now leads off here at the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch he takes from Jackson Reiser is in the carpet. 1 ball, no strikes. Carter Knight had that 2-run single back in the bottom of the 1st. Was not able to come around and score on any subsequent running as he takes ball 2. Two-0 pitch is fisted weakly up into the air and caught by the third baseman coming in a couple of steps, Stockton Folks, and there's 1 away.
Now playing for 22, Carter Garrett.
So Carter Garrett now will stand in following the leadoff pop-out by Carter Knight. Reiser stretches and fires. Tried to bunt his way on, and that hit Knight right in the foot.
I mean, I suppose he got the result he was looking for to get on first. Just not the way that he had hoped to get there.
12, Gavin Jacks.
So Gavin Jacks now stands in as the first runner of the inning goes to the Davis Darts.
And he's limping around over there.
Knight, you saw it. Knight got hit in the foot, and he's limping pretty good. Lyle Mangum, the home plate umpire, looking out with a bit of concern, making sure he's okay. And now Josh Godfrey trying to make sure that his right fielder's okay as well.
I don't know if you want to get a pinch runner out there for him so he can rest that foot.
Well, they're not doing it right now as that pitch misses low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, he's definitely laboring. That's not something you just walk off, it looks like.
Yeah, he's not even trying to go to that big of a lead there at first. He's only about maybe a couple feet off the bag as this is grounded toward the hole, and it gets through. Knight on that bum foot will turn and stop at second. And once again, traffic for the Davis Darts. As Gavin Jacks gets aboard, they'll pull him for pinch runner Tyson Baggett. And now we're going to see the 9-man in the order, Seth Jarman, here. So runners on first and second, 1 out, and a runner in scoring position. Both teams so far with runners in scoring position today, 8 for 13 combined. Reiser has a look back at second, and the 1-0 pitch. And the first pitch is outside, taken for a strike, throw back into second. They did not get him as Knight dives back in ahead of the throw.
And he's not letting that foot hinder his base running ability out there. He's not going to be caught out, even though he's kind of feeling it.
1 strike the count on the left fielder Seth Jarman. Up next in the order is the top of the lineup, Caleb Weaver, the third baseman. 0-1 pitch, trying to bunt his way on again. Throw down to second. This time not as accurate a throw there, but still able to keep the runner honest. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, didn't have to even slide that time.
Well, we're about to find out how much adrenaline Carter Knight has flowing through those veins. If Josh Godfrey decides to send him, trying to bunt his way on again, but this time Jarman misses, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and now you got to think he's going to be swinging the bat here.
Yeah, you don't want to be striking out on a bunt attempt.
I saw that happen with one of the Hawaii batters against Chaminade, and that was not pretty, the picture that Rich Hill was putting up after.
No.
1-2 pitch. Pulls it back, missed the outside corner by about a fraction.
He's still trying it. Seth Jarman really wants to get his teammate Carter Knight into scoring position. Well, over to third. He's already in scoring position.
And Jackson Reiser having trouble keeping track of the count here. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had to ask Lyle Mangum what the count was. 2-2 pitch. And this one is popped up foul, and that's strike 3.
Please return that foul ball to the nearest dugout.
Well, thou hast said, Mr. Dodge, and Josh Godfrey shaking his head, was walking away shaking his head, and probably saying a few naughty things under his breath as he was standing over there at third base, the poor man. That's a tough one. This one is popped up sky high on the infield. Second baseman comes over, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. The Darts got 1 hit in the inning, but they're not able to create any more traction against the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. We go now to the top of the 5th inning with the score 5-3 Mountain Ridge in the first game of the day. It's win or go home on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, after a hot start with a bunch of fireworks, we've got absolutely nothing through the last 3 innings as we're halfway home now here in the game. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge at the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at Larry Miller Field. Very unfortunate time to have that bunt foul out, strike 3 on Seth Jarman. So now here comes Remington Edwards. Heart of the order, 3-4-5 up for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels to begin the top half of the 5th inning. Only had one base runner through the last 3 full innings. And only one base hit. That was by Davis, as Edwards takes that strike on the inner half. The Syracuse Titans now filing into our right on the right field stands. 0-1 pitch is down in the dirt. Ball 1.
And Alex, this seems to just be the calm before the storm. We saw Joshua Godfrey kind of getting a little unsettled there at the end of that last inning. And we've been scoreless here for 3 whole innings, and it just seems like something is going to break at some point.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count. This one is chopped foul to the Davis Darts dugout. As we got action in both bullpens now.
Yeah, they're both of our starters here are up against the pitch cap, and it's to be expected that they'll be changed out here at some point.
Ground ball ripped through the hole, base hit up the middle. And that's the first base hit for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels since the very first inning. And it's Remington Edwards, the 3rd man in the order, the right fielder, that gets it started here for the Sentinels. We have a righty and a lefty throwing in the bullpen. Actually, it's just a lefty throwing in the bullpen for Mountain Ridge. It's number 23, McKay Callahan. On the other side, it is Sam Sevi, who is throwing for the Davis Darts. Josh Godfrey is out of the dugout. And the pitch counts are getting up there, as Paul Binns just announced. 71 for Mountain Ridge's starter Jackson Reiser. 64 for Davis Darts starter Andrew Filimoy Hala. As Josh Godfrey is out. And Wyatt Horning, number 3, came out for the dugout. Appeared like he was going to come in. And he is going to come in, as that's going to do it for Andrew Filimoy Hala. So Wyatt Horning comes in, defensive substitution. We have our first pitching change of the afternoon here at Larry H. Miller Field. We'll tell you who the new arm is coming in for the Davis Darts coming up after this word from Igloo Outfitters on the Rewind Sports Network. New pitcher on the mound. It's one of the infielders. It's first baseman Wally Grant who takes over the left-hander. Wyatt Horning will come in to replace him at first base. Alexander Timlip and Josh Dodge with a 5-3 lead here for Mountain Ridge. And Josh, why don't you go ahead and tell the viewers at home what you were just telling me. You're looking at the stats on Wally Grant pitching-wise. He's not only one of the best hitters for the Davis Darts, he's also one of their best relievers out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and just like this game is going, like, he can do it at both ends. You know, he's got 50 strikeouts on the season, a 4-1 record to his credit, and you know he's got good batting numbers as well, able to bat 25 runners in, and he's got 1 homer on the season. But mostly we're going to be focusing on his pitching to start this 5th inning, or to relieve Philip Mulhalla in this 5th inning.
Yeah, he'll be batting or pitching against 2 right-handers here in the order. It'll be Austin Ellis, the catcher, and Ethan Yakono, the left fielder. 4 and 5 in the order. Heart of the lineup with Remington Edwards on first base here with nobody out. So we had fireworks early in this ball game. 8 runs scored in the total in the first inning on 7 combined base hits, and a total of 19 batters were sent to the plate in a nearly 45-minute full first inning. Ever since then, the last 3 innings have taken approximately 40 minutes. So we have just been zooming along since that really long first inning. First pitch on the way from Grant is outside and away, ball 1. Top of the 5th inning, 5-3 Mountain Ridge trying to survive and advance to another elimination game tomorrow. This one is fouled onto the tarp, onto the roof, so that means we have another Any Hour Services random roof ringer that Josh Dodge will dig up after this 1-1 pitch from Wally Grant, which comes down and is missed inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. All right, go ahead, Josh.
Okay, Alex, so you and Ty talked about Will Ferrell playing for 10 MLB teams in one day last night, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a bonus round for you on that one.
Okay, shoot.
As the ball goes to the backstop and the runner advances from first to second. But, so Will Ferrell was traded from the Angels to the Cubs for a washing machine.
What in the world?
Yeah, so the Cubs traded a washing machine.
Oh, that's right. I heard about this.
Yeah. I knew about it because I had seen it on Instagram just like randomly scrolling.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I wanted Ty to give it as a bonus round last night, but he didn't. So I wanted to say it today.
You got it in for me here because I remember reading about that and I'd forgotten that was part of the story where Will Ferrell was traded literally for a washing machine. Anyway, here's the full count offering on the way, and that one goes in and is low. Might have hit Austin Ellis, doesn't matter. Would have been ball 4 anyway, and we get to see the pinch runner now come out. That is Cannon Honeycutt that will replace Austin Ellis over at first.
So it begs the question: does Will Ferrell equal washing machine?
Are you saying he's a bandwagoner?
No, I'm asking like a literal washing machine. Like, does he equal a washing machine?
I don't know. With all that talent that he has, I don't understand how you could trade him for a washing machine. But I guess if you're playing for that many teams in a day, it makes sense. As this one gets by the catcher again, and is going to advance the runners up 90 feet. That's the second passed ball we've seen from Wally Grant, and now the Mountain Ridge Sentinels are threatening to put more runs on the board, Josh Dodge, just as we saw yesterday with Fremont against the Sentinels.
Yeah, and this is the best scoring position that we've seen from either team since the first inning.
This one is chopped off the plate, coming to second, throw to first, in time, and the runners will not advance. They caught the runners in a rundown, throw back to second, got him!
And just another lapse in judgment. So just a blown opportunity, and now instead of just one out from that chopped ball, now you got 2 outs because you get caught out at second.
What a great pick off the Baltimore chop too by Max Hunter, the shortstop, coming in from his shortstop position. But there's still a runner on third with 2 out. Cooper Goff stands in now, the DH, and the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. And we talked about how those missed opportunities came back to bite Mountain Ridge. That same scenarios might be playing itself out again here. 0-1 pitch is down low and away. Good block there by the catcher, Gavin Jacks. 5 runs, 5 base hits, no errors for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Davis Darts. 1-1 pitch is chopped foul off the end of the bat. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One pitch on the way. That is way outside. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, I was going to mention, coming from first base to pitching, you're not throwing a whole lot from first base. So you've got to get it a little warmed up here, Grant.
That one is high around the numbers. And it's now count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I misspoke earlier. It was actually 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now it's full. Counts full.
As Grant faces his first full count of his day.
This one is grounded to third. Tough play. Throw to first. In time. Inning over. And so the Davis Darts, thanks to that double play, able to get out of the inning. And they still trail 5-3 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's crunch time in this winner go home game at Miller Field. Get a good look there at Austin Ellis behind the plate for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. The Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs continues tomorrow. 4 more games as we get set to determine the last 2 teams standing for the 6A baseball championship. Ty Wilkinson and hopefully Wilson Gustafson will be back tomorrow for all the action starting once again bright and early, 11 o'clock in the morning on your home for all the UHSAA Spring Sports Championships, KSLSports.com. Well, what a dandy of a finish we are in for here in our first winner-go-home game of the day. Mountain Ridge leads 5-3. Bottom of the 5th, Owen Talbot leads off 2-3-4, the man in the order coming up for the Davis Darts. As Davis looks to keep their season alive. Jackson Reiser misses high with his first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes.
And Reiser's up against his pitch cap as well. Could expect to see Brock Whitney up to the mound at some point this inning.
Yeah, there are a couple of arms warming up in the bullpen right now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. 1-1 pitch. That goes in and hits Talbot square on the back.
Now plate number 21, Wally Grant.
So here comes Wally Grant now. With a runner on first, and Wally Grant representing the tying run here at the plate. 5-3 in favor of the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. They scored 5 in the first inning, but have had none since. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike.
I hope I didn't jinx the game by saying 21-19, and then we're just stuck at 5-3.
It would be absolutely hilarious if it's 5-3 the final score, which seems like it's going to at this point with how well these pitchers are doing. Here's the 0-1. That one misses the outer half. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. This one gets away from the catcher. And Talbot will move up 90 feet to second base on the pass ball. So tying run at the plate. Another runner at scoring position at second base. And nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Davis trailing 5-3. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. The runner will advance. Throw over to first is in time, and there's 1 out on the 4-3 put out. So now the tension here really ratchets up here, Josh Dodge. A runner on third with 1 out. And the one thing you absolutely cannot have here is a strikeout.
Sorry, yes. You got a runner in scoring position, and you got to bring him home. Like you haven't scored since the first inning, and you're still down by 2. It's great that they've been able to exchange some this defensive battle the last 4 innings, but you got to get on the board here, and you got to erase that deficit.
Max Hunter is the one that stands in at the plate now. Runner on third with 1 out, and Jackson Reiser pulled that one into the dirt. Looks like he might be feeling a little bit of fatigue. 1-0 pitch. Did he go?
You're going to say no.
No arguments from anybody, so it's ball 2. Austin Ellis was waving away the appeals, saying no dice, but Lyle Mangum checks down at first base anyway, and first base umpire also says no dice. 2-0 pitch. Liner into the hole. Throw to first. Long throw. Got him. But behind him, Owen Talbot scores. And on the RBI ground out, it is now 5-4 in favor of Davis. So Max Hunter does his job, getting the runner home from third. And so the bags are empty now here for the second baseman, Jackson Marble. First pitch is right on the inner half for a strike. 1 run, no hits, no errors in this inning here for the Davis Starts. On the RBI ground out, that one misses the bottom corner and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Credit that RBI ground out to Max Hunter.
Yeah, and that'll just add to his tally, being the RBI leader for the Davis Starts. He's got 31 now.
And that's a big one because there's a big difference, Josh, between a 2-run game and a 1-run game going out of the 6th inning for the Sentinels. 1-2 pitch. And that one comes in and plunks Jackson Marble on the elbow.
And Jackson Reiser's getting deep in the pitch count now, and that's the second HBP he's had this inning.
And now here comes Josh Godfrey over to Lyle Mangum, the home plate umpire, saying that's the third hitter that Jackson Reiser is hit. I understand his case, but you know what? There is nothing intentional or malicious behind that.
No, he's a little fatigued. You know, the first one was in the first inning. You know, like get the nerves out a little bit, but now he's just a little tired, and I think that Brock Whitney is going to need to make a change at the mound at some point. You don't want Reiser getting injured. You don't want this game getting away from you. And like you said, like there's a big difference between a 1-run deficit and a 2-run deficit. It can go away pretty quickly.
First pitch on the way. Reiser guns that one in there for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Ground ball right back to Reiser. Takes it on a hop. Underhand to first in time. And that ends the inning. So the Davis Starts able to scratch across 1, but they're not able to get any more further. They still trail 5-4 as we head to the last 2 innings of the game. 6th inning coming up here on the Rewind Sports Network. So there's the Syracuse Titans as they get set for their turn in the winner-go-home round of this 6A baseball tournament. Alexander Tumulip alongside Josh Dodge here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the order to lead off the bottom, or the top half of the 6th inning, rather, for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, who are trying to stay alive and keep their season going. They lead 5-4 over the 2-seed Davis Starts right now in this winner-go-home elimination game here at Miller Field.
And it is anybody's game. It's just a 1-run game, and we're at the top of the 6th. And, it's winner takes all. You know, loser goes home. So it's going to be interesting how each team is going to approach it in these last 2 innings.
Wally Grant throws that changeup way over the head of his catcher, Jax. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch is once again high. 2 balls and no strikes. And you almost get the feeling that now not only the nerves are going up, the tension is going up, but also the anger is going up as that one goes up near the head, 3-0.
And we're hearing a lot of noise from the Mountain Ridge dugout. They can smell blood in the water, and they're going after him.
3-0 pitch, taking all the way, strike 1. Those last 3 pitches by Wally Grant were way out of the zone and way up near the head of the batter. I mean, I don't know if that's a response to what they think Jackson Reiser is doing, but that's got to be. I mean, Lyle Mangum has got to get this game under control. Like, He cannot allow the pitchers to start doing that, as ball 4 is called, and the runner will go to first.
No, definitely not. And this is an education-based competition where, you know, like, things literally start in the principal's office. And we're being sportsmanlike out here. We're definitely competing, but we don't want anybody getting hurt, and we don't want any type of foul play.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Yeah, it'd be really unfortunate if this devolves that far, as Wally Grant leaves another pitch up high, and once again, more shouting from the Mountain Ridge dugout at the home plate umpire Lyle Mangum, and now here comes Josh Godfrey out of the dugout.
And
I think he's had enough. I mean, this is really unfortunate, Josh, because you can see Josh Godfrey from his expression on his face talking to his pitcher right now. And he was even telling him from the dugout to just calm down. Like, I think he's pretty much seen enough of the monkey business.
And he gets a couple of words from our umpire, our home plate umpire here, as he walks back to the dugout.
And Brock Whitney did as well. Brock Whitney got a couple of words from his counterpart, Josh Godfrey, as he walked back to the dugout. So the tension is rising and the emotions are definitely going up. And you just hope that they don't get too far out of control. 1-0 pitch. This one is right there for a strike.
You just got to play like with amnesia. Like you can't. You got to have a short memory. It's a close game, and you got to play your game, and you got to take it one batter at a time. Don't let the emotions get to you. That's how you get off of your game.
5-4 Davis trails. Top of the 6th. Runner on first. 2-1 pitch is golf foul into University Parkway. Look out. There's some people driving by. And hopefully that didn't hit anybody's car over there, because otherwise that insurance policy definitely going to go up.
Oh, definitely, because those aren't college cars over there.
Those are real people cars over there.
Real people cars.
Real people cars, as Yvonne Gonzalez calls for time.
Innocent passersby.
I mean, like I said, it's hit a couple of the UVX buses in the past.
Yeah, well, the city pays for that, so it's not
right. Exactly. And now the count goes full here on Juan Gonzalez. There are not 1, not 2, but 3 arms in the bullpen up and ready for the Davis starts right now. Three-two pitch, ripped toward the hole, and a base hit. They'll raise the runner to third. Throw comes in. He is safe. And there are runners at the corners now and nobody out. As Luke Nelson slides in just ahead of the throw.
And it was marginal. As he was making that slide in, the ball was just getting there. The umpire was right on top of it to make the call.
Yeah, third base umpire Anthony Preston, who was watching that gap right there down the line. So now the 9-man in the order, Leo Bachoco.
You know, and just like we were putting bookmarks in yesterday's game, why don't we put one right there in that slide into third?
How about we put one here on the walk issued at the top of the 6th?
Oh yeah, that's
the
how
emotions.
He got on base.
The emotions getting the better of these two teams. Runner goes to second on strike 1, and so that takes the double play out of question. As the runner advances to second base, now it's second and third with nobody out and a strike. 2 important insurance runs for Mountain Ridge out there. Can Bachoco bring them home? Infield is in. 0-1 pitch on the way. High and away, ball 1. And that Mountain Ridge bench and that crowd really fired up. 1-1 pitch on the way. Line foul. Over to the screen. 1-2 now the count. Stockton Folks, the third baseman, is on deck. He'll be followed by the second man of the order, Jackson Reiser. Reiser, who's gone 5 strong with 3 strikeouts. Can he get some more run support? Pachoco awaits the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Runner will not come home. Throw to first in time. 5-3 put out. There's one out. And good job there by the defense of Davis, not allowing the runners to advance.
And with these runners in scoring position, that's exactly what Davis needed to stem the tide. As these could be the floodgates opening if they're not able to hold these runners on base and keep them from coming home.
Stockton Folks now the third baseman. One out. Top of the sixth. Runners on second and third. Here comes the pitch. That is just a little inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. Nelson at third. Gonzalez at second. 1-0 pitch. Strike right at the knees. Can Wally Grant find a way out of this jam and hold this deficit right where it is for the bottom of the 6th inning? 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Off the second baseman. That's going to score a run. Max Hunter couldn't come up with it. A run scores from third. And the Mountain Ridge Sentinels do get a massive insurance run on the infield single.
And this has been a game of responses. You know, the Davis Starts were able to pull one back there in the 5th inning, and we see the response here from Mountain Ridge as you know, the strategy has been like, hey, like it's now or never, like it's time to play, and their whole team, their whole bench is getting into it, and they put the deficit right back at 2 here at the top of the 6th.
I mean, you talk about a massive response here. Now here's Jackson Reiser at the plate. Pitcher against pitcher matchup. And he takes a strike about letter high. Six runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Their first run since the 1st inning. And what a time to do it. That pitch is high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Winner moves on. Loser goes home.
Wally Grant's got to dig deep here and find a pitch that's going to get him out of this inning.
That one almost comes in and hits Reiser. And Reiser just did get out of the way of that one.
Went on the wrong side of Reiser. The catcher had to reach around the back of his calf to catch that.
2-1 pitch. High drive in the air to right. Coming over is the right fielder. He's not going to get there. They'll put the stop sign on the runners. And on the single by Jackson Reiser, the bases are loaded with only 1 out here in the top half of the 6th inning.
And Carter Garrett, the right fielder, just not able to make it over in time with that slide to catch that line drive fly into right center. And you just wonder if those types of mistakes, like we've seen one bounce off the shortstop's glove, we've seen one now bounce off of the right fielder's glove. There's just some opportunities that Davis could have gotten out of the inning here now, but now we got bases loaded for Mountain Ridge.
And it's bases loaded for the right fielder, Remington Edwards, who chops that foul. 1 run on 3 base hits so far, no errors for the Sentinels here in this inning. Bags are full, nowhere to put them. 0-1 pitch is right there at the waist for a strike. 2 strikes now the count. Good pitch there from Grant.
He's up in the count, Grant is, but let's not mess around and try to make him chase. I'm going to strike him out here.
0-2 pitch. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just pulled at the left-hander, just a little bit inside.
Oh, 2 pitch on the way. And that misses down and in. again. So we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes this time.
He's definitely experimenting out there. He's trying to get it in there, trying not to put it too much down the middle, but he's trying to hit that corner unsuccessfully. So.
And Anthony Preston, we talked about how the emotions are running high between these two teams. Anthony Preston just told the Mountain Ridge Sentinels enough of the chirping while he's trying to pitch. That's pretty much, I think, all you need to know about this at this point. Is this is chopped foul by Edwards at third base. We have seen tensions running extremely high now between these two teams, and the umpiring crew we talked about has to get this under control, and good on them for doing that.
Yeah, definitely, because there's a fine line between, gamesmanship and unsportsmanlike conduct. Because, is it part of the game? Is it not? And how much of it are you going to allow? And we just saw it there as they quiet down the Mountain Ridge dugout.
Home umpiring crew again is Lyle Mangum at home plate, first base. Or rather, a third base is held by Anthony Preston, and at first base and down the right field line is Nate Newberry. And they've had a busy day, especially in this last couple of innings or so, where tensions have been running extremely high between these two teams. The competitive juice is really flowing now. 2-2 pitch is grounded to the hot corner to third. Throw to home plate. They'll get the runner there on the fielder's choice, and there's 2 gone.
Excellent defense getting the force out at home. Third baseman Caleb Weaver, who was yesterday's pitching starter, makes that play and gets it to home to prevent the run from scoring.
Pinch runner now goes out for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It is Tegan Jenkins that'll go out to run at second base. Put a little more speed out there in the lineup for head coach Brock Whitney. So now here's Austin Ellis, the catcher, batting cleanup. First pitch to him on the way is hit in the air to right. Garrett coming over a few steps to his left, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But the Mountain Ridge Sentinels scratch across a run on 3 base hits. The tension's rising, the fever hot. We head to the bottom of the 6th. There remains 6-4 in favor of the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Beautiful shot there of Mount Timpanogos as we get set to start the bottom half of the 6th inning. 6-4 is your score in favor of the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. And boy, Josh Dodge joining me, Alexander Tim up here in the booth. Josh, this has been a fun game to watch for both the chirpers and the players, because this has been an amazing game to watch on both sides. The competitive juices are really flowing.
Oh, definitely, and it's Davis's turn to step up to the plate and to respond back. And the middle of the game was really just a defensive battle, nothing really going on. But again, it's now or never, and I don't think you want to go into the top of the 7th inning with a 2-run deficit. I think you want to try and tie it up or take the lead here. But Davis definitely has a lot that they need to do on offense in order to get around the bags.
4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error so far on the ledger for the Davis Darts. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as we get set to start the bottom of the 6th inning of this winner-go-home elimination game. Winner moves on. The loser's season is over. It's that simple. Carter Garrett now stands in to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Then he takes a ball inside from Jackson Reiser.
And Carter Garrett dropping that ball in right center field. You hope that he doesn't have those nerves getting to him and he's able to step up to the plate here and get a hit.
2-0 the count now. And the pitch is lifted foul over to University Parkway.
And you just listen every time it goes over the back onto the road.
Yeah, you always listen with great intent and nerves every time it goes over there. You're just hoping it doesn't hit something. Or some 2-1 pitch. That's one's high and outside, 3 balls and a strike.
Of course, I'm always hopeful that it'll hit the roof and we can have some more fun facts
Yes,
in
that's
here.
right. Arms up in the bullpen. It's active right now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels on the 3-1 pitch by Jackson Reiser. Is popped up in the air to left, tailing into foul ground, but staying fair. Coming in and making the catch is the left fielder, Ethan Iacono, and there is one gone here in the bottom half of the 6th. The Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSA baseball playoffs is presented all week long by the good folks at Igloo Outfitters. Use the promo code REWIND for 20% off your next order when you order from them online at igloooutfitters.com. That's IGLUoutfitters.com, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered for all seasons of the year. Here's the catcher, Gavin Jacks, now. And he takes a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. We have a pinch hitter standing on deck, by the way. Tyson Baggett is in the on-deck circle, and he will go into left field for Seth Jarman. That 1-0 pitch misses the bottom corner away, 2-0. Tyson Baggett is the tying run in the on-deck circle if Gavin Jacks can get on base, as this one is turned foul up the third base line, 2-1. And you can just feel the tension in this building.
It's gotten really quiet now.
It sure has. 2-1 pitch.
We see we hear perhaps a little bit of chirping from Davis's dugout, but nothing like Mountain Ridge's was like when Wally Grant was up at the mound.
I mean, they were chirping. I mean, I thought there were a bunch of parakeets down there that were chirping so loud as this one is laced into left center field and a base hit. Jacks will make an aggressive turn at first. He'll stay there, but it's a one-out single. And the tying run will now come to the plate in the person of Tyson Baggett, as Strider Prowse will take Gavin Jacks' place as a pinch runner out there at first. And here comes Brock Whitney out of the dugout. And I would assume, based on that front, that is going to be all for Jackson Reiser, and it is.
And no protest from him. He knew he was up against the pitch count, and after that base hit, Brock Whitney's got to bring in a closer.
So we have a pitching change from Mountain Ridge for the first time today. And in steps the man that will come up to close it out as Jackson Reiser leaves. Pitching change. Runner on. Tying run at the plate. Are you not entertained? Well, Dylan Singleton, it's all on you now. The left-hander will be tasked with getting Mountain Ridge at least through this inning and into the bottom of the 7th, with Strider Prowse, the pinch runner, on first base, and the tying run of the person of Tyson Baggett at the plate. And Josh Dodge joining me, Alexander Tumulip. You wanna see how good a pitcher can be, how calm he can be in this situation? Well, why don't you thrust him into a situation where he's got to hold the lead, and he's got to get you to the top of the 7th with a 2-run lead in an elimination game. Yeah,
a narrow lead. I mean, a 2-run lead or a 2-score lead is not safe in any sport. It's especially when in sports where you score by ones, like 2 is the worst number that you could be at, because it's a spot where your players can feel complacent, because it's a little bit more than a tie game or a 1-score game, but it can disappear really quickly. And so, yeah, Dylan Singleton's got a hefty task ahead of him. He's got 65 strikeouts on the season. He's got a 5-3 record to his credit, and he'll be tasked with saving this game and helping the Sentinels advance.
Well, Take a big deep breath, and here we go. So here comes Tyson Baggett. His brother Easton, of course, was a baseball player and receiver for Davis back in 2023, or back in 2022, rather. And now his little brother Tyson has a chance to make one of the biggest impacts of potentially the year. Singleton's first pitch in the lefty-on-lefty matchup is down low and in, ball one. Tying run at the plate, go-ahead run on deck. The potential winning run could be on deck. Singleton has a look back and the pitch. This one is chopped foul to the backstop of the right. One pitch is high and inside, 2 balls and a strike.
And the tension is so high that it even like extends to up here. I almost feel like not saying anything just to watch this game in awe.
Good pitch there, swing and a miss, strike 2.
You can hear a pin drop up here too.
Oh yeah, you could feel it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look back at first. The 2-2 pitch. Got him! Step right up, Mr. Singleton. And here comes Caleb Weaver now.
It's one way to one way to lead off your relief tenure here in this game, to get your 66 strikeout on your first at bat.
First pitch coming from Singleton. 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Tying run on the plate. That pitch is left up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Prowse represents the 5th run at first. Weaver represents the tying run at the plate, and the go-ahead run is on deck. 1-0 pitch. That one just misses the high corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch is inside and low, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes here.
It's definitely the prime time to come in and relieve, because you don't have to worry about pitch cap. You can bring the heat. You're fresh, and got a little bit of a lead, but you got one runner on base right now, and as you said, the potential go-ahead run is on deck right now.
3-1 the count here. Caleb Weaver, yesterday's starter. 3-1 pitch on the way. Hit in the air on a line to center. Coming in, making the catch is Grayson Riding, and that ends the inning. No runs, 1 base hit, and the tying run was left at the plate for the Davis Darts. We have played 6 complete innings. It is now officially crunch time. 6-4. We head to the top of the 7th. Back after this. New pitcher on the mound for the Davis Darts. It is Croydon Christensen, who comes in relief. And his job is very, very simple at this point. Taking over from Wally Grant. It's to keep this deficit right where it is now for the bottom half of the 7th inning. We also want to make a correction here. Josh Dodge alongside me, Alexander Timolet, pointing it out just a little bit ago. Grayson Riding actually came out of the game, and Jackson Reiser now went back into his normal position in center field on the double switch. Well, Josh, this is it. We're in the 7th inning now, and this is crunch time. We're about to find out what these 2 teams are made of, because if Mountain Ridge doesn't get any more runs here in this top of the 7th inning, the Davis Darts have 3 outs left to save their season.
And both teams know exactly what's at stake. They know exactly what is ahead of them. So on the docket for Davis, no runs here at the top of the 7th and score 3 in the bottom of the 7th. I don't know that you really want to go to extra innings the way that this game has been going. And then for Mountain Ridge, you just got to score more. You got to score more at the top of this 7th inning and keep Davis from getting back into it.
So off we go then. Croydon Christensen off to start the top half of the 7th inning. As sounds like the fire alarm's going off in one of the buildings over there.
It was probably a baseball that hit the fire alarm.
Yeah, probably. That pitch from Croydon Christensen's down low for ball 1.
Sounds like they got it taken care of pretty quickly over there, though.
Maybe it was just a test. Here's a line drive into center field. And backing up a couple of steps is Owen Talbot, makes the catch. There's 1 out on 2 pitches here in the top of the 7th inning.
And Iacono throws up his arms as he knows he's out after that line drive fly into center field, and he probably knows that his day is done. Batting-wise, at least. As Croydon Christensen continues to step up on the mound and settle into this game. That pitch a little bit high and outside.
Well, also, Josh, you have to figure at this point, I think Croydon Christensen has just got to put what happened yesterday out of his head. You would think at this point, as this one is golfed back to the screen. From Cooper Golf, 1 ball, 2 strikes here, top half of the 7th inning.
Was he the one that gave up the 6-run inning?
Well, he was part of it. I mean, technically Spencer Cannon was charged with the loss yesterday because he was responsible for the first 2 runners, I think.
Okay.
But then again, it was yesterday, and it was a long day for all of us.
Yeah, I was on camera. I was focusing on different things.
That's true. You were preoccupied with looking at the field at that moment. 2-2 pitch is down low again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, the full count offering is tipped right into the glove. Strike 3. And so a strikeout for Croydon Christensen, and there's 2 gone now here in the top half of the 7th inning.
2/3 of the way home. You've done most of your job already, but you just got to close out the inning.
It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the bottom half of the 7th. Talbot, Grant, and Hunter. As this one is lined into center, right at Talbot. Comes into the Y logo, makes
Job
the
done.
catch. Yes, indeed, Josh Dodge. Job done. No runs, hits, or errors. And there were no runners left on base as the darts set down the Sentinels in order. Buckle up, folks. 3 outs left for Davis to save their season, and we'll have it after this. Well, here we are, folks. Bottom of the 7th inning in this winner-go-home game. The winner moves on. The loser's season is over. It is 6-4. Mountain Ridge here as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge. There were 8 total runs scored on 7 base hits in the first inning. 19 hitters were sent to the plate. Since then, it has been a duel of defenses. As the Davis Starts try to keep their season alive, they'll have the tying run on deck with Owen Talbot, Wally Grant, Max Hunter, 2, 3, 4, the heart of the lineup, due up to begin this bottom of the 7th. And they'll be going up against Dylan Singleton, who will try to shut it down for the 5-out save. First pitch on the way is down and in, ball 1. One-zero pitch. That is right there at the knees. Called strike. 1-1.
And it's do or die time for Davis here.
Number 2 seed on the ropes. 1 ball, 1 strike in the pitch. That hits Talbot.
A little bit extra emphasis on that bat flip there from Talbot as he gets on base.
And that means the tying run now is being brought to the plate in the person of Wally Grant. And the winning run is in the on-deck circle now. Don't you love this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the water that I've been drinking has just been running through me because I've had to drink so much to calm my nerves here. Like, it's palpable all the way up here in the booth.
Wally Grant stands in the pitch. Right there at the knee, strike 1. Can Dylan Singleton find a way to shut this down and get a crucial 6-out save to keep his team season alive? The 1-strike pitch. High and away, ball 1. One pitch. 5-ball foul off to the left and into University Parkway. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. 6-4, bottom of the 7th. Winner go home. The 1-2 pitch. Missed the corner by about a fraction. Catcher Austin Ellis had to bring it back a couple of inches to his right.
And there's just some extra long pauses here as they're as pitcher's going through his routine. I mean, he wants to make sure that he makes the right pitch and that he doesn't give this game away.
2-2 pitch. That missed the corner again. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the count goes full. The tying run is at the plate. The winning run is potentially on deck. No one up in the bullpens. Everyone on the top rail of the dugout. Full count. The 3-2 payoff on the way. Got him! Swinging! Strike 3! One down in the bottom of the 7th, and here comes Max Hunter. Second strikeout for Singleton in relief, and that was huge. Max Hunter, who's had a couple of big web gems out at short, awaits the first pitch from Singleton. That one is inside and low, ball 1. Once again, tying runs at the plate, potential winning run is on deck. 1-0 pitch. Line drive to left, and the left fielder slips! That ball's gonna get to the wall! They're gonna wave the runner around! Here comes Talbot, and this is now a 1-run game!
Just one mistake. One slip from Ethan Okono. And it awakens the Davis crowd. Mountain Ridge is now super nervous about trying to end this game because they've got no more scoring opportunities. They have to hold them here or else we go to extra innings.
6-5. The tying run is at second base in scoring position. The winning run is now at the plate. Max Hunter comes up big again. He's got a couple of great defensive plays at short. And now here comes Brock Whitney out of the dugout. No one's in the bullpen. This is just a little staff meeting right here to try to calm his nerves.
And Brock Whitney's probably just saying to Singleton, look, like, if we don't hold here, we go home. Like, this is it. This is the end of the season.
I mean, how much more dramatic can you get in an elimination game like this? An RBI double by Max Hunter after it looked like Ethan Iacono had a beat on it in left field. He slipped. And what a time to have that.
Yeah, and you can't write this stuff. Like,
hey, if anybody thinks sports are scripted, we just saw something that was totally off script right there. That was total ad lib.
There was a turf monster out there in left field, is what it was.
Well, here we go. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. The 1 run is already home. Tying run is in scoring position. The winning run is at the plate. One out. Here's the pitch. High fly ball in the air to right, not very far. Coming in and making the catch, and the runner will not advance. Remington Edwards makes the big play, and there's now 2 out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Carter Knight is the last chance for the Davis Darts to push across the tying run.
And Max Hunter at second with his hands on his knees, knowing what a tall task that he has to make this tying run. He's in scoring position, and he knows what he has to do.
Tying run at second, winning run at the plate. First pitch. Strike called. Singleton's ready. 0-1. Foul back to the screen. And the Davis Darts are down to the final strike of their 2024 season. Tying run at second. Winning run at the plate. Carter Knight, 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled onto the roof. We would have an any-hour services random roof ringer, but we got bigger things to take care of right now.
Exactly. I don't think I could tell one anyway.
We'll try it again. No balls, 2 strikes, tying run in scoring position. The 0-2 payoff. Liner to right. It is caught, and the Sentinels survive.
And that's the final. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels 6, the Davis Darts 5. We congratulate the Darts.
And a big congratulations to Mountain Ridge for gutting out this win, but you really got to feel for the Davis Darts here as they hang their heads and throw their helmets and their hats on the ground.
We invite you, if you need this afternoon, to look around where you've been sitting.
What a ball game. The Davis Darts score 1 run in the bottom half of the 7th inning, but they leave the tying run in scoring position, and they leave the winning run at the plate. What a fantastic season for the Davis Darts, the Region 1 champions. But they are eliminated after just 2 games. It's the Mountain Ridge Sentinels who survive and advance.
And may I just say, what an incredible, first game of the day. That was our first game of the day. We've got, more incredible baseball ahead of us. And that was a 2 and a 3 seed in the losers bracket of the state championship playoffs. It's absolutely incredible, to have a 6-5 game and come down to the wire like that.
So now time to name our Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game, presented by the full-service law firm committed to winning for you, the client. Josh Dodge, I don't think this day would have been possible outside of the offense that we saw today without the help of the player of the game, the man on the mound getting it done, Jackson Reiser. He was incredible. After a rough, bumpy start, gave up 3 runs in the first inning. He was locked down, shut out the rest of the way.
Definitely, and just the way that he got his head right and was able to shut out the Davis Darts for 3 whole innings before being relieved it just shows the kind of player that he is, like the kind of grit and toughness that he'll put in there, and he puts in work. You can see it in the way that he pitches, that he works on this, and that he came ready to play today.
Josh, what a game, and what an incredible win for Mountain Ridge as well. We also should give congratulations to the Davis Darts. What a great season for them. But overall, what a game to start the day.
Definitely, I was glad to be a part of it, and look forward to the baseball for the rest of the day as well.
We have 3 more games coming up, folks. If anything is indicated from this first game, we can't wait for what the rest of the day holds. We'll have Riverton against Syracuse coming up in approximately 30 minutes here on the Rewind Sports Network. We thank you for joining us for this presentation of the UHSAA 6A Baseball Playoffs with your final score, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels 6, the Davis Darts 5. We'll be back with the second game in just a little bit.